Hey everybody, it's War Boss Fitz. Welcome back to another How to Play episode. Today we're going back to Grimdark Future. We're going to be looking at the Prime Brothers and all of their different flavors. But before we do that, we're going to look at a 3D Creator of the Week. And I saw this pop up on the One Page Rules Patreon or Discord. I can't remember what it was. But 8-legged miniatures popped up. They are now compatible with One Page Rules. They have a pretty big collection of stuff. Let's go ahead and look at the collections here. And you can see they cover a few different style of armies in One Page Rules. So what I'm going to do is all the stuff you're going to see in the video is going to be from these guys. Alright guys, I got a new home setup going on here. So we're going to try to do this a different way. I'm going to try to do this right off of my computer. So let me know if you like the way this sounds and the way this looks. But this way I think it'll be a little bit easier for me and a little bit better looking for you. I'm still going to do the picture swap again. You'll see what I mean. So today we're going to talk about the Prime Brothers. As you can see, they have a few different flavors of Prime Brothers. We're going to focus mostly on the regular Prime Brothers, and we're also going to dip a little bit into the Watch Prime Brothers for our list today. So let's go ahead and go right into the Prime Brothers. So let's look at the special rules. Battle rights. This model and its unit get +1 to hit when shooting, which is amazing. But these guys usually start at quality 3. This pushes them to quality 2. Heavy shield. When units where all models have this rule take hits, those hits is counting AP -1 to a minimum of 0. So this doesn't add to your defense value, but it reduces the amount of AP coming in. Medical training. This model and its unit get regeneration. If you got the points left over, definitely spend it on this to get a little bit more longevity out of your units. It's kind of a extra boost over the top to the tankiness. Precision shots. This model and its unit get AP +1 when shooting. Always good if you want to go for a regular heavy rifle spam army. This pushes all those heavy rifles to AP2, and that makes them kind of a threat. Repair. Once per this model's activation before attacking. If within 2 inches of a model with tough, roll 1 die. On a 2+, you may remove D3 wounds from that model. So that means instead of removing D3 wounds like you're taking wounds from them, it's D3 wounds. You're giving wounds back. Not only does it include vehicles, but it also includes those heavier infantry that have the toughness of 3. So if they do take a wound, your mechanic can run over and stuff their insides back into their armor. Veteran infantry gets +1 to hit in melee and shooting. This is a skill that is relatively cheap for the unit, which pushes them over the top to make them into quality 2 units. Always good to just increase the output of the squad. And War Chant. This model and its unit get Furious. If they already had Furious, they get extra hits from Furious on unmodified rolls of 5 to 6 instead. So what the Battle Brothers and the Prime Brothers do is they have pretty good melee capabilities, and putting this on the squad just increases that output. Next we go to spells. Blurred Sight 1. Target enemy unit with an 18 gets -1 to hit next time it shoots. That's a pretty good debuff to throw out there, especially if the enemy has high AP weapons that are just going to take out one of your expensive Prime Brothers. Psychic Terror 1. Target enemy unit with 12 takes 2 hits with AP2. Pretty standard offensive power. Cerebral Trauma 2. Target enemy unit within 12 takes 2 hits with AP4. Now as you can see, this says target enemy model, not target enemy squad. So this is going to be a directed spell. 2 hits with AP4. You can put a little bit of a dinger right into an enemy hero, or take out a specific piece of equipment that you want out of the enemy squad. Cursed Ground 2. Target 2 enemy units with an 18 get -2 next time they advance, or -4 next time they charge or rush. This is going to be a debuff to the enemy speed. It's good to throw out there when the enemy has a melee squad and you don't want them to get into your squishy bits. Lightning Fog 3. Target 2 enemy units within 9. They take 6 hits each. This is our Mass Kaz offensive power. And Time Passage 3. Target 2 friendly units with an 18. They get AP +2 next time they charge. This is going to make your melee squads downright dangerous. So now what we're going to do is we are going to pop in, act like we're making a list. 2,000 points. That's what we play at here. So let's look at the units. Starting off with our heroes, we have the Grave Prime Master. Starting off at 220 points. Quality 3, defensive 2. Fearless hero, toughness 6. Comes with an energy sword, energy fist, and a fist pistol for 6 shots at 12 inches. And oh, I like this too. Whenever a rule pops up, I can just scroll over it and you guys can see what it does. And I can see what it does. So I don't gotta flip through notes. This is great. So our options for the character, this is just all the options that you can give to his squad. You can give him War Chant, which is the Furious ability that gives him hits on a 5 or 6. Ancient Banner with a fear of 3. It counts as dealing plus X wounds when checked to who won melee. In this case it would be 3. Repair, this is the one where you are a mechanic / medic. Caster 2, that gets you access to all those juicy spells. Battle Rights, +1 to hit when shooting. Precision Shots, +1 AP. And Caster 3, it's a big long explanation, but it's just more access to those juicy spells. You can replace the Energy Sword with a Energy Great Sword, which gives him 8 attacks, AP1 with Rending and a Heavy Shield. And then you can also switch out the Energy Sword for an Energy Fist. But didn't he start with one? So yeah, he started with one. So in this case, you would get 8 attacks, so it'd be this times 2 at AP4, which makes him a beast in combat. He's going to be able to punch. He's going to be able to punch out all the big stuff. Yeah, so this is going to be the way that you're going to be able to get all of these abilities onto your Grave squads, which is going to be the Destroyer equivalent for the Prime Brothers. We'll talk more about loadouts when we get to those. Next, we're going to the Prime Master. 75 points, quality 3, defensive 2. Fearless Hero and toughness 3. Comes with a close combat weapon with 2 attacks and a Master Heavy Pistol for 2 shots at AP1 at 12 inches. You can give them all of the same upgrades that you gave the last character. You could replace the Master Heavy Pistol with a Flamer Pistol, Master Gravity Pistol, Master Auto Rifle, Master Plasma Pistol, Heavy Rifle, Precision Rifle, or Carbine. You can replace a close combat weapon with an Energy Hammer, Sword, Fist, or a Relic Sword. The Relic Sword gives you only 1 attack, but it is a strong attack with AP2 and Deadly 3. You can also give him a Combat Shield, which gives him that Heavy Shield ability. This is the one I got confused with at the beginning of the Dwarf video last week. I mixed up Shield Wall and Heavy Shield in my head. You can give him a Jetpack for ambush and flying, a Combat Bike for fast, +3 toughness, and 2-shot heavy rifle strapped to the front. And you can also upgrade them with Heavy Infantry to get +1 to hit in melee and shooting. So this is going to be the upgrade unit to give all of this stuff to your regular Prime squads. So we'll talk about that some more when we get to those. The next unit is the Elite Raider. 55 points, quality 4, defensive 3. Fearless, Furious Hero, Strider, and toughness 3. So this guy is moving through difficult terrain like it's not even there. Comes with Furious strapped to him already. 2 attacks with a close combat weapon. 2 shots at AP1 at 12 inches with his Master Heavy Pistol. You can give this guy all of the upgrades as well. You can upgrade them with infiltration gear to give Scout. I know I've explained it in the past, but here you can actually see the text. May be set aside before deployment. After all other units finish, must be deployed and may move up to 12 inches, ignoring terrain. If both players have Scout, roll off to see who goes first, and then alternate deploying units. Orbital Drop, which gives Ambush. And then you can upgrade the Heavy Pistol with all the other different flavor of pistol. And upgrade the close combat weapon with the different flavors of close combat weapons. This is going to be a character that is going to pretty much strap to the Raider squad. And again, we'll talk about it more when we get there. So we're going to move into the units. And ta-da, we're already there with the Raider squad. 5 of them for 120 points. Quality 4, defensive 3, Fearless, Furious, and Strider. Come with 2 close combat weapon attacks and 1 shot at AP1, 12 inches with their Heavy Pistol. You can switch out 1 Heavy Pistol and close combat weapon for a Heavy Pistol and an Energy Hammer, Pistol and a Sword, a Heavy Chain Sword, which gives 4 attacks at AP1, Heavy Pistol and a Fist for 2 attacks at AP4, and a Heavy Pistol with a Relic Sword for 1 attack, AP2, Deadly 3. You can give them all Orbital Drop for ambush, and you can also give 1 model in the unit medical training who becomes your medic and gives the whole unit regeneration. Now with that, so this is something I found in the Army Builder. You click on medical training, and then you go up to combined units, and it gives you twice the number of guys, but also gives you double the medical training. So if you're looking to shave a few points, you just go down to 1 of those, and you click off the medical training. Now the squad still has regeneration, but it's just 1 medic. And that's all you need to give the squad regeneration. So this squad is going to be kind of your discount melee squad, because they only have defensive 3, but they do have the ambushed orbital drop, so they are going to be able to drop behind enemy lines. So there's 2 ways to think about this. You could take a squad, keep it small at 5, give them ambush to just drop behind the enemy lines and be a problem, something that the enemy has to deal with. Otherwise, they're just going to move on to an objective and take it from them. Or what you could do is you can keep the squad of 5 with ambush, combine the unit, put 1 medical training guy in there, take our Raider Elite, join him to the unit. Now what you can do is you can give them War Chant, which takes the Furious the squad already had here, and that moves it to a 5. You could do some upgrading. Let's do Energy Fist and Energy Fist, and then put an Energy Fist on the big guy. And now this is what our squad is. For 385 points, you end up with 246 AP4 attacks, 12 shots at 12 inches with AP1. Oh, and I forgot to put the orbital drop on him. So for 390 points, you can pull that off. And this is going to be a pretty effective beat stick squad that's going to have a whole lot of attacks, a lot of AP4 attacks. And they're going to be able to do some damage behind the enemy lines. Our next unit is the Infiltration Squad, 5 of them for 125 points, quality 4, defensive 3, fearless scout and strider, 1 attack with close combat weapons, and 1 shot with a marksman carbine at 18 with rending. You can give all those marksman carbine scopes, which give them the sniper rule. The sniper rule here shoots at quality 2. Each model with sniper may pick any model in the target unit as an individual target, which is resolved as if it was a unit of 1. And you can upgrade one model with medical training to give them regeneration. Now, in my mind, the Infiltration Squad is going to be a standalone squad of guys that are just going to scout forward, and they're going to stand on the objectives in no man's land, forcing the enemy to fight for those objectives instead of just walking onto them. You can give them the scopes to give them the sniper ability, which means they're going to be able to pick out their targets in the squad, but with the marksman carbines only have an 18-inch range with 1 shot and rending, I don't think it's going to be that super effective at like popping characters, but in case you want to kill off a heavy weapon or a medical training medic in another squad, that would be what their target should be. But it's a nice small squad, 125 points, kind of self-contained in what they do. Our next unit are the Assault Squads. 170 points, quality 3, defensive 2, fearless, 5 heavy close combat weapons, 2 attacks apiece at AP1, 5 heavy pistols, 12 inches, 1 shot at AP1. You can give them a jetpack for ambush and flying, and veteran infantry to give them +1 to hit in melee and shooting. You can replace 1 heavy pistol with a flamer pistol or a plasma pistol, and you can replace 1 close combat weapon with a hammer, sword, fist, or a relic sword, and you can also give the squad the medical training. Now, if you're a real aggressive Prime Brother player, this is going to be a squad that you're going to want to take multiple times. And from someone who's been on the receiving end of these squads, they hit really, really harder than you think they should. So with that in mind, combine the unit, make it 10. Veteran infantry is kind of up to you if you want to hit on a 2 or if you're fine with hitting on a 3. Giving 1 guy the medical training to give them regeneration. And then we're going to add in a Prime Master to the squad. That's how you attach them. And this one is going to be up to you what you want to do with it. You can go for War Chant to give them Furious, or you can go for a Caster to try to give them the Time Passage spell, which gives them AP +2 next time they charge. Now you could do that on 2 units, so it'll be this unit and another unit of your choice, but at that point, it makes this unit 20 attacks at AP3, so that just becomes something unnecessarily aggressive. You could tool that up or down, that one's up to you, and you could also just take the assault squads, and you could add in special weapons like Energy Fist for the AP4, or Energy Swords for rending, or Energy Hammer for blast if you're fighting against somebody that has lots of chaff on the table. Coupled with that psychic power, this is going to be 1 attack at blast 3 and AP2. So these guys are your run forward and punch stuff in the mouth really, really hard squad. Our next squad is the Basic Shooters, the Prime Brothers. The Prime Brothers, 160 points, quality 3, defensive 2, fearless, 1 attack with a close combat weapon, 1 shot at 24 inches at AP1 with their heavy rifles. You can replace any of the heavy rifles with auto rifles or precision rifles. And the reliable on the precision rifle means they hit on a quality of 2. You could take one of the heavy rifles out and do a flamer, gravity rifle, plasma rifle, fusion rifle, heavy rifle mod with a grenade launcher, or a heavy machine gun. You could upgrade them all to be veteran infantry so they hit in melee and shooting on a 2. And you can make one brother in the squad into a sergeant, which gives them a heavy pistol and hand weapon. You can then replace that heavy pistol with a gravity or plasma pistol, and the sergeant can take a sword or a fist, and again, the medical training is right there. So this is going to be your basic dudes in the Prime Brother squad. What you can do is you can give them all precision rifles. You can give them all precision rifles to hit on a 2 for 25 points. Or you can go down the veteran infantry for 50 points, and they're all going to hit on a 2 and still keep their AP 1. Or you can take the squad and you can add in a Prime Master, and then that Prime Master takes the precision shots, and all of a sudden all the heavy rifles have AP 2. You could also, instead of that, and instead of doing the veteran infantry, you can give them battle rights to make them all hit on a 2 in shooting. So one way to get them to be able to hit on a 2 a little bit cheaper is to go in here to the battle rights for 50 points. Now this Prime Brother doesn't have to spend 50 points there for veteran infantry, and you could even double the squad. Now you're saving 100 points plus the 15 it would take to give the Prime Master that veteran infantry. So this is going to be your standard shooting squad in the Prime Brother squad. This is like your vanilla ice cream in the whole 52 flavors that are the Prime Brothers. Next we go to the Blaster squad. 210 points, quality 3, defensive 2 with Fearless. They all come with one close combat weapon, and they all have plasma rifles for one shot at AP4 at 24 inches. You can upgrade them to have heavy plasma rifles for AP4 one shot at 30 inches, or plasma auto rifles to double their firepower for 2 shots apiece. And the medical training option is still there. This is another one that if you combine the squad, add in a Prime Master, throw on battle rights, all of a sudden all your plasma rifles are hitting on a 2. If you really don't care about points and you just want to make them the most deadly squad possible, let's add one to the Master as well. You can only take a plasma pistol, but at this point you end up with 22 AP4 shots that hit on a 2. This is the kind of stuff that scares even Hive Lords. This is whenever you want to look at something on the board and say delete, go ahead and rub that off your army list, point this at that problem unit. It's real pricey though for 805 points for this combination, but like I said, there is nothing that can really stand up to that amount of firepower. Next we go to the Desolator squad, 5 of them for 205 points, quality 3, defensive 2. 1 attack in close combat, and 2 shots with HE launchers. I'm assuming that means high explosive launchers at 30 inches. You could change it up for anti-tank launchers for 1 shot AP2 lock-on at 30 inches. And you replace one of the HE launchers for a Vengeance HE launcher, which gives it blast and indirect, or Vengeance AT launcher, which gives it AP2 deadly 3. You can also upgrade all of them with mini grenade launchers for 1 shot indirect limited, which means you can only get to fire it once at 18 inches. And you can give one model the medical training upgrade. So this is going to be a squad that kind of suffers from it doesn't know what it wants to do. 30-inch, 2 shots is kind of lackluster in this army. Very lackluster in this army. Even the AT launchers, AP2 with lock-on, I mean, it's anti-tank, but what tank is gonna be scared of this? Now, if you could switch them all out for these Vengeance launchers, that's something. But only being able to have one of them in each squad, I don't know. You're going to be able to find better anti-infantry and better anti-tank elsewhere. Next unit is the Infernal Squad. 120 points, quality 3, defensive 2 with Fearless and Relentless, which means that if you stand still and shoot and roll a 6 to hit, you get an extra hit. Comes with 1 close combat weapon and 3 flamers, so you can stand still and shoot, but your range is only a 12-inch range with Blast 3 and Reliable. So you are going to hit on a 2. So if you do take this squad, what you're going to want to do is find a place to post them up that you know the enemy is going to come at you. That way that you can use your flamers with the Relentless. Otherwise, that Relentless rule is pretty much going to be ignored because these guys are not going to have the reach out and touch you range that other squads do. This squad doesn't really get any benefit from having a character attached to it either. So it's a fluffy squad. It has a purpose. It has a fun purpose if you feel the need for it. But again, we can find stuff a little bit better elsewhere. Next, we're at the Elimination Squad, 175 points, quality 3, defensive 3, Fearless, Scout, and Stealth. 1 attack with a close combat weapon, and this one comes equipped with sniper rifles for 30-inch shot, 1 shot, AP1 with sniper, and you can replace any of the sniper rifles with a laser sniper rifle for 1 shot at AP2, Deadly 3, and sniper. This is your character popping squad. At this point, you're going to hit on a 2 with a sniper rule. With AP2 and Deadly 3, if any of those shots go through, it's going to kill one of the lower level characters, but with AP2 and Deadly 3, you're going to be able to take out the larger characters that have toughness 6. Even if they're rocking around with regeneration with toughness 6, normally they wouldn't mind. They'll be like, oh, well, I can probably survive that with my regeneration. No, with this squad, you're hitting out 2 with those sniper rifles, so you're probably going to do 9 damage to them, or at least make them save against 9 damage coming in. That is a 430-point squad, just having 3 of them with the laser sniper rifles. But in my opinion, if you're fighting against somebody whose characters are the real focus of the army, that's where a lot of the power of the squads come from. This is a good squad to take. At least have one of them sitting in a spot where they can overwatch most of the battlefield. With their 30-inch range, they're going to cover a whole lot of it and make those characters want to hide. Next unit is the Guard Squad, 260 points. Quality 3, Defensive 2 with Fearless, Heavy Shield, and Toughness 3. They all come equipped with Relic Swords for 1 attack, AP2 and Deadly 3, Heavy Pistols for 1 shot at AP1 at 12 inches, and you replace any of the Relic Swords with Energy Swords, which get you 3 attacks with AP1 and Rending. Now this is a squad that if it came in a grouping of 5, they would be good to combine and just throw at the enemy, and they're going to mop up all of the big heavy stuff. But since there's only 3, you get 6 guys. Let's see what we can do with this. Throw Prime Master on there. Join the Guard Squad, and just because we're going to give him a Relic Sword as well, just to get parity with everything. And then you go for a Prime Master, give them the War Chant, which gives them Furious, or what you could do is you could take that Prime Master off, and remember that Assault Squad that we had earlier? Where'd they go? Assault Squad. Combine that unit. Add the Prime Master in there, go to the Assault Squad, then that Prime Master, that is going to be our caster, and it's giving this squad here, our Assault Squad, plus 2 AP, and this is a excellent candidate for the second squad to be the other plus 2, because at that point these guys become AP4 Deadly 3. That means that they are going to wreck everything. Heavy infantry, monsters, vehicles, having 6 of them at AP4, 6 attacks and Deadly 3. That's going to ruin some days. Next squad is the Eradication Squad, 250 points, Quality 3, Defensive 2. Again, this is another squad of 3. Fearless and Toughness 3. 1 attack with their close combat weapons, and they're all armed with fusion rifles, 12 inches, 1 shot, AP4, and Deadly 3. You can replace any of the fusion rifles with a heavy fusion rifles, which gives them an 18-inch range. And for fun, you can replace one fusion rifle with a super heavy fusion rifle, 18-inch range, Deadly 6. Well, this is going to be your ranged tank poppers. So what you're going to want to do, give 2 of them the heavy fusion rifles. And then the choice is yours to either do a third heavy fusion rifle or to do a super heavy fusion rifle. This way, this squad of 3 is pumping out 12 points of deadly across all the vehicles that you're going to be shooting at. So with this squad, if you really want them to hit stuff, you really want to give them hitting on a 2. You could do the battle rights with a Prime Master. That'll be another 125 points. But that pretty much guarantees that whatever they're shooting at is going to die. So that's a 455-point squad. In larger point games, I don't know, it might be worth it. I kind of like living on the edge. I'll live with that Quality 3 for 330. Now we come to the Heavy Prime Brothers. 3 of them for 255 points, Quality 3, Defensive 2, Fearless, and Tough 3. 1 attack with close combat weapons, and they are equipped with Grave Auto Rifles for 4 shots at 18. You can replace those auto rifles with Precision Rifles, which gives them Reliable to hit on a 2, or a Heavy Rifle, which gives them AP1. You can also replace one of the auto rifles with a Heavy Machine Gun for 4 shots at AP1. So just for parity of the units, because you all know I like to do that, we're going to do a Heavy Machine Gun and 2 heavy rifles. That way what we're getting here is we're getting 10 shots out of these 3 guys at AP1 for 320 points. Now it's kind of a big investment. It's 32 points a shot, but with Defensive 2 and Toughness 3, they're really not gonna go anywhere. I wouldn't worry about these guys getting blown off the board unless they run into like one of those Eradication squads that we just saw. So let's see what we can do. Prime Brothers, Heavy Prime Brothers, we're going to combine it. They're in grave armor, so that'd be the grave prime master. Oh yeah, precision shots. Give all those shots AP2. That's really all you can do there. You can't give him a ranged weapon upgrade that kind of reaches that same parity. So what we'll do, instead of going for the grave prime master, because these guys are just going to be sitting around, like they're not gonna be ambushing anything. Let's go for an elite raider. Join that to the unit. We'll do a master heavy rifle, and then the precision shots there. It comes in at 765. It's a little bit cheaper instead of going with the grave prime master. That's going to be your most amount of shot output out of that unit. Next, we're going to the jetpack squad. 270 points for 3 of them with quality 3, defensive 2, ambush, fearless, flying, and toughness 3. 1 attack with their close combat weapons, and they all are armed with twin assault blasters, which gives them 4 shots at 12 inches. So that's going to be 12 shots out of the squad. And you can replace all of the twin assault blasters with twin plasma blasters, which means they get 6 shots at AP4. Now this is just a dual squad. You're going to take the plasma blasters for AP4 if you're fighting against big heavy stuff, if you're dropping in the back, taking out tanks that are hiding back there, or heavier infantry, or take the twin assault blasters for twice the amount of shots to kill off all of the light stuff. That one is up to you. Next is the aggro squad. 3 of them for 325 points. They come with dual energy fists for 4 attacks at AP4. Twin fist flamers for 3 shots at 6 inches with reliable. You can replace the flamers with twin fist pistols to give them 12 inches and 3 shots apiece. And you can upgrade them all with a shoulder grenade launcher for 1 shot at AP2 at 18 inches. From what I can tell, this squad is going to be a counter charging unit just because of the very low range on the twin fist flamers. You can send them forward direct face for 4 attacks at AP4 each, which, honestly, with the assault rules, the way that they've now moved into the advanced rules, if you're working with that pack, this would be a great unit to do that with. Move them forward, and before you're going to attack something, go ahead and flame it. Hit it with the twin fist flamers. But if you're just using the basic rules, those twin fist flamers aren't really going to come to play much, because you're always going to want to be moving and charging with this unit. Your charge range is 12 inches, the flamers only being a 6. Kind of counterintuitive on that. Even upgrading them to the pistols, again, your charge range is 12. Just go punch it instead of trying to shoot it. Then we have the hover squad. 3 of them for 325 points. Quality 3, defensive 2, fearless, relentless, and strider. Here we have a relentless squad that does have a long-ranged weapon, which is the suppressor cannons. 24 inches, 3 shots, AP2 with indirect. And it being indirect means that you can hide behind stuff. Well, here, let me hover over it now. May target enemies that are not in line of sight and ignores cover from sight obstructions, but get -1 to hit rolls when shooting after moving. Now that, coupled with relentless, means that when these guys hit the board, they want to sit there. They want to go some spot where they're hiding, and they can just lob shots at 24 inches. And with the 3 shots apiece, the relentless is going to proc more. You're going to get more 6s because you're just rolling more dice. You're rolling 9 dice. You statistically going to be 1. Means you're just gonna get more hits. It's just the way math works. If you really want to be crazy, combine that unit. It's 650 points, but at that point, it's 18 shots at AP2, and they can't shoot you back because it's indirect and hiding, and you're going to get 3 6s out of all those dice. That's just what math says. So if you feel like shooting at somebody who can't shoot you back, these guys are a pretty good choice. And then our last core unit are the Prime Bikers. 3 of them for 310 points. Quality 3, defensive 2, fast, fearless, and toughness 3. 2 attacks with close combat weapons, 1 shot with a heavy pistol at 12, and 2 shots with twin heavy rifles at 24. The squad has no upgrades, and I really wish they did. I really wish you could put close combat weapons on these guys. Because just having fast means that they're going to be able to get to combat fast. Hey, it's in the name. But it's just a fast-moving shooting squad. So you could combine the unit. They don't have the veteran upgrades, so you can do Prime Master on a bike with battle rights. All of a sudden, they're all hitting on a 2. Or you could do precision shots. All of their shots are AP2. Yeah, that's about the best you could do with this squad. If they were a close combat squad, if they could take upgrades for close combat weapons to give them the heavy close combat weapons, or maybe do some fist action, definitely almost an auto take in my mind. But the way they sit now, they're just a fast-moving shooting squad, so if you feel like you need more speed than you can get from the basic Prime Brother squad, take some bikes. Otherwise, you don't really need to move that fast if you're just moving towards objectives. Your basic Prime Brothers can get there on their 2 feet instead of 2 wheels. It'll just take an extra turn. Now we move down into the vehicle category. We're going to start off with the Prime ATV. 235 points, quality 3, defensive 2, fast, fearless, impact 3, scout, strider, and toughness 6. Comes with a twin heavy rifle, 2 shots at 24 AP1, and a Gatling gun for 6 shots at 18. You can replace the Gatling gun with a super heavy fusion rifle for 1 shot AP4 deadly 6, which, yes, definitely do that. The rest of your army, if you don't do that, the Gatling gun, the rest of your army has all of that stuff covered. Give it a super heavy fusion rifle to run around and blast the enemy tanks before the enemy tanks blast you. Our next vehicle is the Anti-Grav APC. 285 points, quality 3, defensive 2. Fast, fearless, impact 3, strider, toughness 9, and transport 11. Which means it's going to be able to carry an entire Prime Brothers squad plus the character that's attached to them. Comes with a twin frag grenade launcher for 2 shots at 18 inches with blast of 3. You can replace that frag grenade launcher with storm rifles, 6 shots at AP1 at 24 inches. Then you can upgrade it with a twin AA machine gun for 6 more shots at 30 inches, artillery relay for 1 shot, blast 6 indirect, a shield projector which gets its stealth, and an additional heavy machine gun or a missile array, 2 shots AP3 and deadly 3. So on top of being an APC for your troops, this thing has some good combat potential. You can switch out for the storm rifle, which gives it 6 shots at AP1. Then you go for the twin AA machine gun for an additional 6 shots for lots of anti-infantry love. You go for the missile array, take off the storm rifles, and all of a sudden this thing is now a tank hunter, 2 shots with deadly 3 and AP3. Or you could make it into a MLRS launcher and give it 1 shot with blast 6. This is kind of one of those jack-of-all-trades tanks. And with toughness 9, it's going to be tougher than your usual APC. So you just could use it to transport your troops, but you are losing out on some combat potential on the board. I would suggest taking something strapped to it. Whatever that something is, that's up to you, whatever you need it for. Next is the Anti-Grav tank, 490 points, quality 3, defensive 2, fast, fearless, impact 6, strider, and toughness 15. These are beefy boys. Comes with twin light Gatling guns for 8 shots at 18 and a twin frag grenade launcher for 2 shots at 18 with blast of 3. You can switch out the Gatling gun for laser talons or twin laser cannons. Switch out the frag grenade launcher for heavy fusion rifles, storm rifles, or tempest rifles. And then you could also give it an AA pod or a heavy machine gun on top of it. So the rest of your army, in my mind, has the anti-infantry covered. The infantry fight the infantry. This tank should be fighting other tanks, and we can make this into a monster. Take off the Gatling gun, put on the laser cannons. Take off the grenade launcher, give it the twin heavy fusion rifles. All of a sudden, look at this thing. It's got an output of 12 wounds, 2 shots, AP3 and deadly 3, and then 2 shots, AP4, deadly 3. That's going to make any other armored vehicle think twice about poking their nose out in front of it. It does come in at 615 points, which is pricey at the 2,000 point range where we play here when I do my how to play games. But if you're going with 3, 4, 5,000 points, absolutely take one of these. Next we go to the heavy anti-grav transport tank, quality 3, defensive 2, 725 points to start off with. Fast, fearless, impact 9, strider, toughness 18, and transport 11. You can see up here, it's already giving me it's too many points for 2,000 points. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes you just can't take the big stuff. Comes with a twin heavy Gatling gun for 8 shots at 18, twin heavy machine gun for 6 shots at 30, and a proximity defense array for 3 shots at 18. You could strap on an additional Gatling gun for 6 more shots, or an additional heavy machine gun for 3 shots at AP1. You can replace the Gatling gun with a rapid laser talon for 6 shots at AP3, and switch the heavy machine gun for a twin laser cannon. So again, anti-infantry is covered, especially this one where it's carrying the anti-infantry inside of it. So let's make this another tank hunter. You're just going to swap it out for the laser cannon and the twin laser talon. And there you go. Twin laser cannon has your deadly covered. Rapid laser talon being AP3 with 6 shots. This is going to kill off some heavier infantry of the enemy, like say in case you're playing against Prime Brothers. This is going to take out some Prime Brothers. But also with that AP3, it's going to be able to pop some wounds off of tanks and do a little chip damage to them. And with Transport 11, you can take anything that you've seen on this list anything on this list is just going to, well, except for the bikers. Well, I mean, technically you can take bikers. Yeah, technically, in one-page rules, you can put bikers inside of a tank. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why you would want to, because I wouldn't really want to take the prime bikers in the first place. But it is an option, in case you are loopy, like me, my nesting doll tanks. But back to the point, you can put whatever you want in here, like one of those elimination squads, one of the blaster squad full of plasma rifles. Oh, that'd be devastating. But at that point, we're way into the weeds as far as points go. But man, it's fun. But again, you can't even take this in 2,000 points. You're looking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 10,000 points. That's where you'd use these. Back down to more manageable size stuff. We're going to the attack speeder. 325 points, quality 3, defensive 2. Ambush, fast, fearless, impact 3, strider, and toughness 9. Comes with a Gatling gun for 6 shots and a strike missile for 1 shot, AP 3, and deadly 3. Switch out the Gatling gun with a fusion destroyer or a laser talon, the strike missile with an AA pod or a heavy machine gun, and you can upgrade it with a grenade launcher, either frag or rocket, or a fury missile. Now, where this has ambush, this is something in my mind that's going to drop into the rear of the enemy's army and just be a problem. Toughness 9 and defensive 2, it's going to be hard for the enemy to deal with just being that close. And again, for the weapons, we have some options. You can go tank hunting with a fusion destroyer and a fury missile, or we can go all anti-infantry, which is a viable tactic because you're going to be dropping so close to everything. Who knows what you're going to be dropping right in the face of. You could do either frag or rocket grenade launcher, that one's up to you. Heavy machine gun, and then keep on the Gatling gun in case they got light armor, or laser talon if they have heavy armor. This is one of those units that has options. It's just, again, what are you fighting against? What do you plan on fighting against if you're going to a tournament? What do you think is going to cause the most chaos behind the enemy lines? You don't even really need to use ambush because it does have fast. You can just move this thing around the flanks and just make the enemy have to reach out and come and get it. Next we have the Light Walker, 320 points, quality 3, defensive 2, fear of 2, fearless scout, and toughness 9. Comes with an incendiary cannon for 2 shots, AP 1, blast 3, and reliable, a light fist for 4 attacks, AP 2, and a stomp for 3 attacks, AP 1. You can swap out the incendiary cannon for twin iron cannons for 6 shots at AP 2. You can replace the light fist with Walker pistol for more anti-everything love for 2 shots at AP 2. And you can give it the frag grenade launcher or a twin Walker machine gun for 4 shots at 24. So this thing looks like it is coded to move forward and just be like a shock vehicle deal with this. So you can keep on the incendiary cannons if you want to do that with it, or you could switch out to be totally, let's see how many shots we can put out with this thing. We got 6 with the iron cannons, 2 more with the Walker pistols, and then 2 more Walker machine guns. Let's see, we got 4, 6, 12 shots. Hey, 12 shots. It's not too shabby. 8 of them at AP2. Yeah, this thing can be moving forward and just, you can model it with just brass showering off the sides of it. This is an interesting thing. You know those Walker things they had, like, what was it, in the third Matrix movie, where you got the guys just going, with just guns blazing? That's what I think of when I have this thing outfitted like this. Then we come to the Attack Walker, 500 points, nice rounded number, quality 3, defensive 2, fear 3, fearless, and toughness 15. 5 attacks at AP2 with Stomp, 12 attacks at AP1 with Rending from its claws, and a chest grenade launcher for a range of 18, 1 attack with Blast 3. You can switch out the Walker Claw, you can switch out one of the Walker Claws with a twin heavy rifle and a fist, a light Gatling cannon, a heavy plasma cannon, or a twin laser cannon. And you can replace one of the claws with a twin heavy rifle and a Walker fist, or a missile array. And then you can replace any of the heavy rifles with a heavy flamer, or a light Gatling gun, and you replace the chest grenade launcher with a chest gun, chest fuser, chest machine gun, and then you could upgrade it with a AA pod or an AA machine gun. So, at 500 points, this is a whole lot of attacks moving down the field. With the Rending, you're going to be able to ignore any regeneration the enemy has. So that's a plus for the claws. But let's see what we can do with it. Let's go close combat focus first. We're going to go Walker Fist and Rifle. Walker Fist and Rifle. So that's going to give us, instead of 12 attacks with Rending, that's going to give us 8 attacks at AP4, which is just going to sledgehammer stuff directly down to the ground. And in this configuration, the guns don't matter. You're going to want to always be charging with it. Let's see what we can do for shooting. Let's go anti-infantry. You're going to do a light Gatling cannon. We're going to keep one of the fists on there. We're going to switch that out with a light Gatling gun, chest machine gun, and an AA machine gun. So we're at 675 points, but man, this is getting to be a long list here. So for shooting, we got 10, 14, 17, 20 shots. Wow. Yeah, 20 shots. Low on the AP, but this is going to be for your anti-chaff work. That's quite a lot of shots coming through there. Wow. Okay. Let's see what we could do to code it for anti-tank. Twin laser cannon, missile array, chest fuser. So here we go. We got 2 shots at deadly 3, 1 shot at AP4 deadly 3, and then the missile array with the lock on at AP2. So it looks like it's not going to be as strong as an anti-tank. It is an anti-infantry or a just close combat monster. So what you're going to want to do with it, in my mind, the best efficiency for it is going to probably be the anti-infantry loadout with the 20 shots. But who can resist giant stompy robot with giant stompy robot fists? That just might be my orc coming out. Close combat or anti-infantry is going to be where this thing shines. Anti-tank, you can find better options elsewhere, especially because this costs 645 points. You could do a little better just with your squads. And then finally, under artillery, we have a support turret. 310 points, quality 3, defensive 2. Entrenched, which means when the enemy shoots at it from 9 inches away, as long as it hasn't moved, it's -2 to hit. Fearless, immobile, which means it's not going to move. And toughness 6. 3 attacks in close combat, and a twin rapid laser talon for 9 shots at AP3 with 24-inch range. You could switch out the rapid laser cannon with a rapid autocannon for 15 points, 9 shots at AP2, 36-inch range. So this one is just going to be up to you. The only difference, in my mind, is the range. Just because of the point, I would stick with the rapid laser talons. Extra AP, 9 shots, still the same amount of shots, a little bit shorter range, but 24 inches on our 6x4 board, which is standard, covers a whole lot. And it's pretty hard to pull off a 36-inch range unobstructed sightline on these tables. So I would definitely stick with the rapid laser talons. So that is going to be it for the Prime Brothers units. And since I'm here, I can actually show you guys the list I'm playing with, which is going to be this one. Alright, what we got here is we have 10 Prime Brothers, all with their heavy rifles, veteran infantry on the squad, and precision shots to give them AP +1. So this is going to be 12 shots, including the Prime Master at AP2. 10 of them are going to be hitting on a 2. 5 Prime Brothers with veteran infantry, 5 Prime Brothers with veteran infantry, and then an eradication squad with 3 heavy fusion rifles here. And then we switched over to the Watch Prime Brothers and allied them in, mostly because of lack of diversity of models. So they're going to have the special rule of Purge attached to them. It's going to be the same as the other squads, except these guys have Purge, which means when shooting at enemies within 12 unmodified rolls of 6 to hit, deal 1 extra hit. Only the original hit counts as 6 for the special rules. It's still just going to be heavy rifles with a possibility of spiking 6s. So this is what I'm bringing today to the battlefield. I'm going to be using some models I found that are based on the Space King animation from Flash Gits. The models that I found are actually a free file. Go to Cults or just go to Yegi, type in Space King, see what they got kicking around for it. So for the rest of the Prime Brothers lists, let's just do a quick overview of those. This is going to be in no way extensive. So we got the Blood Prime Brothers. Their thing is they're going to have mostly the same squads, except all of their squads are going to have Furious. So that is going to be the exploding 6s in melee whenever they charge. So if you want a more close combat oriented Prime Brothers army, start off with the Blood Prime Brothers. And then we are going to go to the Dark Prime Brothers. Their big thing is Grim. Whenever a unit where most models have this rule fails a morale test, it counts as passed instead. Then roll as many dice as the number of wounds it would take to fully destroy it, and for each result of 1 to 3, the unit takes 1 wound which can't be ignored. So what this does is it gives what is essentially the undead rule to your Prime Brothers. They can't be stunned. They can't run away. They do have the option to just, having a heart attack and falling over whenever they fail their morale test. But this means that if the models are on the board, they are going to be moving, they're going to be viable, they are going to be an actionable unit. They're never just going to, you roll a bad dice and they're going to run off the board. Which, honestly, quality 3 on the Prime Brothers. I don't know, you all get to see me do this in real time here. Quality 3 on the guys with Fearless on most squads. Odds are Your Prime Brothers, Quality 3 and Fearless. Odds are you're not going to fail a morale test. You get a 3+ and then a 4+. I mean, sometimes there's some enemies that could do some jankiness with when it comes to morale checks, pushing you up to like a Quality 5 on morale checks. But even then, you have the Fearless to fall back on. I don't know if Grim Brothers is that big of a difference to really care about that. It's not much of a point boost to them, but it's still a point boost in an army that when you're playing at 2,000 points, you're scraping for every point you can get. So the Knight Prime Brothers, their big upgrade is going to be Aegis. When taking a wound, roll a die, and on a 6 it is ignored. If the wound was from a spell, then it is ignored on a 2+ instead. Just a little bit extra survivability. Then we come to the Watch Prime Brothers, which I kind of already went over. They have Purge, which means they get exploding 6s when shooting at stuff within 12 inches. And finally, the Wolf Prime Brothers, my absolute nemesis when I play my orcs. Their thing is they have counterattack, which means even when they are charged, they attack first. So this is another assault-oriented army. With the Blood Prime Brothers, your output is increased with the exploding 6s. With the Wolf Prime Brothers, your output is increased. Even when the enemy charges you, you're going to be able to attack them first. So, yeah, that is the Prime Brothers. Now I'm going to shut up and we're going to get out to the garage and play us a game. So here's our Prime Brothers, everybody. We got the captain right here hooked onto his squad of 10 Prime Brothers. 2 more squads of 5 Prime Brothers. Our Eradication squad is back here. Ooh, let me focus on them. There we go. It's back there. And then we have 3 squads of Watch Prime Brothers. And I painted them up. I think we can call this a different chapter of the Space King army. And, you know, the black with the silver shoulder pad. Kind of like the way that turned out. And today they are going to be taking on the infected colonies. And here are the infected colonies, the same list that we had last week. Now, last week we were playing at 3.3. This week we're playing at 3.3.1. And if you'll notice the lists, this is last week's. The list has gone up by 65 points. That's okay. I've asked my opponent and he said it's fine. So for our table setup today, I've gone ahead and tried to do the randomized terrain again. You can see I started with the 6 pieces and moved them where they needed to go. Again, everything kind of clumped in the middle, leaving the flanks wide open. So I added some bushes and some other like area terrain, some small pieces here and there, just to give us a more interesting table with some different lines and stuff to look through. For Age of Fantasy, I think the 6 clumps of terrain work because you're going to want more room for moving around your troops. But in Grimdark Future, we're going to want more stuff on the board to block up line of sights. And for our mission today, we are going to change it up a little bit more. Again, we have the 6 objectives on the board. Turns out I can't read the card missions right. You use 1 deck of cards and both teams are fighting over 3 cards total, all trying to take the same objectives. Which, yeah, that makes more sense in my mind. Which, yeah, we're going to switch over to that. So, let's check our objectives. What are they going to be? Charge, total dominance, and hold 4. So what's going to happen now is both armies are fighting over all 3 of those objectives. Each team is going to score the highest possible card they can. Whichever team is behind gets to choose one of those cards to get rid of. And we'll see how this is going to work. Let's see who goes first. Prime Brothers with a 3 and infected colonies with a 3. Why does this always happen? Prime Brothers with a 6, infected colonies with a 5. So the Prime Brothers is going to go first. So for our deployments, we have Prime Brothers, Watch Brothers, Eradication Squad, Watch Brothers, Big Prime Squad, and a Prime Squad. For the infected colonies, we've got Runners, Combat Walker, Infected, Boomers, Infected, the big squad of Runners with the Tyrant, Combat Walker, and Boomers. First move of the game, these Prime Brothers are going to go up 6. Like so, getting crowded. And then they are going to fire at those runners over there. So they all got veteran infantry and they hit on a 2. Oh, we got 4 hits. Our runners save on a 6. We got 1 save. And then the squad has regeneration. Saves 1 more, so only 2 go down. Yep. All the way over here on the flank, this unit of Boomers is they're just going to move to about there. like that. Second squad of Watch Brothers here are going to move up into the building, like so. And they're going to shoot through those windows into that same unit of runners. So the same thing, 5 shots on a 2. 5 hits, saving on a 6. 1 save, and regeneration. Ooh, only 1 more. That unit of runners is going to take off up the field and end up there on objective number 4, which is one of our mission cards. This is too good of an opportunity to miss here. We're going to have this large squad move their 6 to right there. And then they are going to open fire with everybody in range at the runners. So our Prime Master has a heavy rifle, so it's going to be 12 shots total on a 2. So that was 9 hits, saved on a 6. Saved 1. And then regeneration. Saves 3. So they lose 5 total. We're going to go ahead and take it right off of the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to have boomers doing boomer stuff. And end up there. The Prime Brothers squad on this flank over here moves to there, and they're just not going to be able to get the angle to shoot at those boomers because of that bush in the way. But what they can shoot at is the assault walker right there. So it's a combat walker, not assault walker. Hitting on a 2. Oh no, 4 misses. Saving on a 3. It takes a wound. So the big machine is down to 5. Runners on this flank over here are going to take off doing their runner thing. Make it to there, right in front of those guys that just shot their combat walker. Our last unit of Watch Brothers are going to go 6. They're going to shoot right there at the boomers. 5 shots on a 2. They all hit, saving on a 5. Ooh, they take 5 wounds. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Combat walker over here is going to go forward 6. And it is going to fire at those Prime Brothers there. 1 shot on a 4. Oh, it misses. We're going to have a repeat of the last game, I bet. On this opposite flank, these guys, if they move 6, they're not going to be able to get an angle, so they're just going to go ahead and move all the way up to there. The second combat walker are going to go ahead and get a 6-inch move. And then it's got an angle to fire at those Prime Brothers. Same thing, 1 shot. That misses. Last move for the Prime Brothers, the Eradication Squad. They are also going to go up in the building. And then the only thing that's in range for them are those runners out there on that objective. 3 shots, hitting on a 3, because these guys don't have veteran infantry. We got 1 miss, saving on a 6. 1 saves. Then regeneration for the deadly 6. Yeah, it's a really dead zombie. Zorch. So everything the Prime Brother army has activated, so we have our 2 infected squads left. These guys are going to go up the top. Oh no! These guys are going to go up to the top. Like so. And then their carbines have a range of 18 inches, so 6 of them are going to be in range to shoot at those Watch Prime Brothers. First, we're going to do the psychic power of the infected leader. He's going to try to do the one where it gives regeneration to his infected unit and the other infected unit that's close enough to him. It's a power 3. He's got 2 points to throw at it, so we're looking for a 5. It doesn't work. So 12 shots with the carbines hitting on a 5. So that's 5 hits saving on a 2. They're going to be good. So then the second infected unit is going to roll out of cover. Like so. And then they're going to fire at the big squad of 10 Prime Brothers. So again, the infected leader is going to try to do the regeneration skill. And it goes off. So now both of our infected units have regeneration. And then 16 shots from the 8 carbines, because the fusion guns are not quite close enough. On a 5. Looks like these guys forgot how to aim. Saving on a 2. Oh no. So that was 2 fails, but because there are 10 guys in that squad, I put on medical training, so regeneration. We're only going to lose 1. Pew! So let's look at our objectives here. Total dominance, no. Charge, no, not yet. And hold 4, the infected colonies need to hold it at the beginning and the end of the same turn. So they haven't got that one yet. Nobody's losing, so we're not going to discard anything. Nobody's winning, so it's a tie. At the beginning of turn 2, our 9 brothers squad with the captain are going to go 6 to there, and then they are going to open fire on the runners. So they still have 11 shots, hitting on a 2. Oh, we got 4 misses. Saving on a 6. They got 3 saves. Then regeneration. So they lose 4. So that's going to put them low enough. They are going to need a morale test. So because the tyrant is with them, they are going to pass on a 3. Yeah, they would have passed anyways. And that tyrant does not see any time better than now than to charge these Watch Brothers. So the monstrous tyrant has 4 fist attacks and 2 stomp attacks, hitting on a 3. He had 3 fist hits at AP4, saving on a 6. That's going to be 3 dead brothers. Then the 7 runners have 14 attacks, hitting on a 5. 7 hits, saving on a 2. They're going to be good with those saves. So we only have 2 brothers left, but they hit on a 2. Oh, 1 still missed. Saving on a 6. Fail. Regeneration. Passes, so they killed nothing. Morale test for the Watch Brothers. They're going to pass. We must protect the globules. Gabagools. These Watch Brothers in the building are going to come out on the other side. They're going to end up there and open fire into those runners and tyrant. So they got 5 shots with the Purge rule, hitting on a 2, and I want to see a bunch of 6s. Hey, we do! So that's 3 more hits for a total of 8 hits, saving on a 6. Saved 1, and then regeneration. Saved 3, so they're going to lose 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another morale test for our tyrant and runners. They're going to fail. So there's 3 runners left, and then the tyrant has 6 wounds. So we're going to roll 9 dice, and on a 1, 2, or 3, they're going to take a wound. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means all the runners are dead, and the big guy's down to 3 wounds left. 1, 2, 3. He's down to 3. So time for the infected colonies. I mean, why would they not do this? So there's 5 of them left. That means 20 attacks, hitting on a 4 with poison. 12 hits, they're going to save on a 2, but they need to re-roll their 6s. So we've lost 2, but there are no 6s to re-roll. And with that poison, it removes the medical training, so they don't get any regeneration. So their attack's back, and even though the captain looks like he's got a sword, I did not equip him with a sword. I just had to use the models that were available. So 9 attacks on a 2. 7 hits, saving on a 4. Oh no, they lose all 7. So that'll be the 1 from this guy, and then 6 more. But the boomers are going to explode. So 3 of them died. That means that the Prime Brothers are just going to take 3 hits. They automatically hit. They save on a 2. Yeah, they're going to save all those. So morale check for the boomers on a 4. They're going to fail. 6 wounds left in the squad. They're going to lose 2 wounds. So they're going to back up an inch. And 1 guy is down to 1 wound. So over here on this flank, the fight is not going to be for this objective over here. So this squad is going to go 6 to there. And then they're going to shoot into that tyrant. 5 shots hitting on a 2. We got 4 hits. The tyrant has a save of a 2, but with the AP1 makes it a 3. Takes 1 wound. He's got to take a morale test. And he passes. Over here, these boomers are going to say, hey, you forgot about us. We're going to have all of them charge in. So 6 times 4 for 24 attacks on a 4. So it's 12 hits, saving on a 2. And they're going to lose 2 brothers. So we're just going to take these 2 here. And then these guys are going to get just close enough to fight back. 3 attacks on a 2. 3 hits, saving on a 4. That'll be 1 that goes down, but you know what that means? She explodes. 3 auto hits, saving on a 2. Oh no! So we lose 1 of these, but in his explosion, he kills 2 of these. Oh, so now the Prime Brother needs a morale test. Morale on a 3. Oh no, but he's fearless. It still doesn't matter. He takes off running. Wow, those dice went pretty bad.
So from inside the building, our Eradicator squad is going to go 12 to go stand on that objective, to now take it, and to keep the infected colonies from scoring that card. Over here, our runners are going to charge. So 20 attacks on a 5. 4 hits, saving on a 2. They're going to be good. Now they're going to attack back. 5 attacks on a 2. 4 hits. And the zombie save on a 6. That's going to be 4 dead zombies. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now when they don't have regeneration, they're not quite as tough. So now they're going to need a morale test. Passing on a 5. They're going to fail. 6 undead rolls. They're going to lose another one. That's one more gone, and then they're going to back up an inch. Squad of Watch Prime Brothers are going to go ahead and go forward 6. And they're going to shoot at the infected that are in that building. So they are within 12, so they're going to get purged, and they hit on a 2. So we're going to end up with 7 hits. Since they have cover, they're going to have a save of 4, but the AP1 on the gun makes it a save of 5. So they're going to lose all 7, but they have regeneration because of that psychic power. They're only going to lose 3. I mean, these regeneration rolls tonight are on point. So while we're here, this squad is going to get down and on to objective number 4, like so, and then they're going to shoot into the Eradicators. So the caster is going to start off with Bio-Horror. It is strength 1, so he's going to put both points. Needs a 3. He gets it. It does 1 hit with AP2 and deadly 3, so the big guys save on a 4. They're going to pass. Let's see, we have 2 fusion guns on a 5. Whiff. The leader plasma pistol on a 5. Whiff. And then 5 carbines on a 5. Only 3 hits, saving on a 2. Save them all. Last activation for the Prime Brothers. These guys are more concerned with that, so they are going to fire at the Combat Walker. 5 shots hitting on a 2. 4 hits, saving on a 3. It takes 1 more wound. So it took 1, that means it is down to 4 because it took 1 last turn. So the infected's real concern is clearing those 3 guys to score more points this turn. So let's try to do that with everything we got. First up, this Combat Walker is going to go 6. So he can now see down the line. He is just at the extent of 18 inches to those guys. But first he's got a hit on a 4. Nope. We're going to attempt to do the same thing on the other side. Going to go 6. And again, he just barely reaches the one all the way on this side. Hitting on a 4. Hey, they got something. Saving on a 6. Ooh, that's going to be 1 dead Eradicator. Splat. Then the last activation is going to be this infected squad here. And that puts them there, so everything is going to be in range of those last 2 guys. So at 12-inch range, the best thing this caster can do is the panic fire. It's on a 4. Hey, it goes off. That's just going to cause a flat 6 hits, saving on a 2. They're good. We got 2 fusion rifles on a 5. 1 hit. 1 failed save. That's going to take out one of them. Plasma pistol from the leader. 2 shots on a 5. Oh, 2 hits. Saving on a 6. Failed 2. He's down to 1 wound left. 16 shots from carbines on a 5. 4 hits, saving on a 2. He's going to save them all. Big boy's on 1 wound left. Needs a 3 to pass morale. And he does. So time for objectives. That hold 4, because that guy with 1 wound left is still standing there. The infected colony doesn't get it. Total dominance, nobody. But charge, yes, the infected colony is going to get 1 victory point. And while they're at it, the Prime Brothers are going to get rid of total dominance. So the new objective cards are Seize 3 and Take No Prisoners. So Prime Brothers' first activation, turn 3. That Take No Prisoners card looks awful juicy. They're going to charge in here. So they're going to have 9 attacks, hitting on a 2. 8 hits, saving on a 4. So they did 4 wounds, which is enough to kill off the boomers, but the boomers explode, saving on a 2. They're going to lose 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They lose 1. So technically, they just won that combat by 3 wounds, they're going to score a point. This squad of infected right in front of our large squad of Prime Brothers are just going to open up on them. So they're going to use the big bada boom again. The panic virus on a 4. Nope, fails to go off this time. Leader plasma pistol. Ooh, 2 hits. Saving on a 6. 2 fails. Regeneration. Yeah, that's going to be 2 down. 2 fusion guns on a 5. Nothing. 16 shots on a 5. So we got 7 hits, saving on a 2. Ooh, they're going to fail 2. And then regeneration on a 5. They fail them both. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 gone. Uh-oh, morale check time. Pass on a 3. They're going to be good. So our Watch Brothers are just going to go 6 back onto objective 3, which is going to be worth a point. And they're going to fire at that infected squad. So 5 shots within purging range on a 2. We're going to end up with 6 hits. Saving on a 6. We've passed 3 of them. And that squad still have their regeneration left over from turn 1. They're going to lose 1. I mean, they're tough little dudes. Just out of spite, this guy is just going to wiggle forwards. Yeah, he's going to keep his toe on the objective. And he's going to fire at that last Eradicator. 1 shot on a 4. And it misses again. We're going to have this Watch Brother squad here come to the aid of their buddy, and they're going to fire into that infected squad. 5 shots, they're definitely in purging range, hitting on a 2. So we got 6 hits, saving on a 6. They lose all 6, and they are no longer, and this squad no longer has regeneration. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, leaving just the leader and 1 fusion gun. Time for a morale check. So the infected leader only gives them a morale of 5. He does not quite have the gravitas of the mutant tyrant. And they fail. 4 total wounds left there. It's just going to be that leader left with 1 wound. Speaking of that monstrous tyrant, he's going to charge in right there. So he has his 4 claw attacks and his 2 stomps on a 3. Claw attack saving on a 6. That's going to be the end of that Watch Brother squad. He is going to go back the other way. Our lone guy over here that's been getting picked on is going to come to there and fire back at the combat walker. 1 shot, hitting on a 3. Oh, it hits. Saving on a 6. Oh, it saves. You can't hit nothing, but you can live through anything. Over here, the runner's going to charge back in. 10 attacks on a 5. 1 hit, saving on a 2. They save. Prime Brothers attacking back on a 2. 5 hits, saving on a 6. They lose 4. That leaves 1 lone runner. And he passes his morale. So that squad's the only one left on the Prime side. They're going to walk to there and then fire at the combat walker. 5 shots on a 2. 4 hits, saving on a 3. Oh, no, he's down to 1 wound left. The walker has undead, so checking his morale, he's going to pass. Ooh, by the skin of your teeth. So we just have the lone infected leader and then this squad of boomers. They're going to go as fast as they can to the middle and end up there. And then the lone leader is going to try to use Biohorror here first. It's only strength 1, so he's going to put both his points into it, hitting on a 3. As I missed the whole box on a 3. It hits, saving on a 4. It saves. So then just to add insult to it, he's going to put both of his plasma shots there and completely miss. So let's look at our objectives. Hold 4. Nope, it's still a mess over there. But seize 3 and take no prisoners. The Prime Brothers scored both of those for 2 victory points. And then the infected colonies are going to get rid of Hold 4 because that seems like a lost cause at this point. So our new objectives are seize 2, area dominance, and seize 4. So at the beginning of turn 4, the Prime Brothers have a little bit of a problem. They can get that one, but not that one. They have that one, but that's a mess. Maybe, probably not going to happen. So let's see what happens on turn 4. All right, so the brothers have a plan. These guys are going to go over 6 to there. And then they're going to shoot at that combat walker. So they got 4 shots to hit on a 2. We got 4 hits. Now their guns do have AP2. That's the upgrade that the leader took. They've just been shooting at things with crap armor the whole night. The combat walker saves on a 4. That 1-3 is going to be enough to take it out. Bang! Crash. This squad of infected, they are going to come back onto that objective. Like that. And then what they're going to do, they're going to have their plasma pistol and fusion guns fire at that squad, and then all their carbines over here. First, the leader is going to do bio-horror against the captain and his squad, and it fails. 2 plasma shots, 1 hit on 6, fails, but regeneration, they're good. 2 fusion guns, whiff. 14 shots with the carbines on a 5. 9 hits, saving on a 2. They lose 2. So after all that, only 2 of these go down. So over here, these boomers, they are going to attack the Watch Brothers. So 5 of them left, 20 attacks, hitting on a 4. 11 hits, saving on a 2. Ooh, they're going to lose 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then those last 2 are going to fight back. 2 attacks on a 2. 2 hits, saving on a 4. Fail 1. So the Watch Brothers lost combat. They're going to pass. The 1-load Eradicator, again, is going to fire at this guy. 1 shot on a 3. That's a hit. Saving on a 6. Oh, it fails. So he's going to lose 3 wounds. Needs to take a morale test. And he fails. He's got 3 left. He fails 2, so he's down to 1 wound left. I have a feeling you're going to live to tell the tale, buddy. Once again, our lone leader is going to do a spell and then plasma. We'll see what happens. So again, on the Eradicator, Bio-Horror on a 3. It goes off. The Eradicator saves on a 4. He saves. And he's going to put 2 plasma shots into the Watch Brothers. Whiff. These Watch Brothers are just going to have to fire at that runner just to keep him from contesting anything over here. 3 shots on a 2. 3 hits. Saves on a 6. Yeah, he's going to be dead. Sometimes you got to do undead cleanup. The monstrous tyrant, even though he wants to charge with every fiber of his being, is going to go chill over here on Objective 5. These Watch Brothers, because they don't think that their shooting there is going to do anything, they're just going to go ahead and pop all their shots into that lone guy over there. 5 shots on a 2. Oh, 4 hits. Saving on a 6. He fails them all. So that's the end of Big Stick Guy. Then just for S&Gs, we're going to see if he can shoot that lone Eradicator. So he's supposed to hit on a 4, and this is his 4th shot of the game. Oh my goodness, he hit! Then the Eradicator saves on a 6 and fails. So that's going to be boom. So the last activation of the game are those Watch Brothers right there. So these guys are the last 2 left to activate. They're going to have to shoot in there. And hopefully the undead rule is going to kick in really hard. So this is what it comes down to. Do it for Space King. 2 hits. 2 fails. So it's time for a morale check. On a 4. Oh, they fail. Okay, let's see how fickle the dice are going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is still going to leave them with a toe on that objective. So for the objectives, nobody has Seas 4. It's still contested. Seas 2 goes to the infected colonies, and area dominance goes to the infected colonies. So at the end of the game, the score ended up infected colonies 4, Prime Brothers 2. And if those Watch Brothers were able to kill off those boomers, it would have been a 3-3 tie. So it looks like the search for Space King continues. So before we say goodbye to the Prime Brothers for a while, there's one thing I'm going to ask them to do for me.
Where's the artifact?
So with that out of the way, the game next week is going to be the Dwarves versus Giants for an Age of Fantasy How to Play Giants. Thanks everybody for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, why wouldn't you? This is some OPR greatness here. Remember to keep having fun. We're playing games. And I hope to see you across the table from me someday. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.